Hello, Hi-Lux family. As a West Point graduate and a veteran of the United States Army, I take great pleasure in celebrating the U.S. Army's birthday. The Army is the oldest U.S. military service, officially established by the Continental Congress on June 14 of 1775. The Army is older than the Navy and the Marines, so show some respect, younger siblings. And within the Army itself, there are various branches that make up the Army's configuration. Perhaps you've heard of Armor, Field Artillery, Finance, Signal Corps. But the oldest branch in the Army, which means the oldest branch in the entire United States military is, well, I'll tell you what, how about you take a guess and put it in the comments below. Let me share with you the birth of the United States Army, courtesy the U.S. Army Center of Military History. America's Revolutionary War began on 19 April 1775 with exchanges of musketry between British regulars and Massachusetts militiamen at Lexington and Concord. As their fellow citizen soldiers from New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Rhode Island responded to the alarm, a state of war existed between the four colonies and the British government. Called the Army of Observation, a force of New Englanders surrounded Boston and had the British troops who occupied it under siege. But they needed help. They appealed to delegates who represented all 13 colonies to join them in the struggle for American liberty. When the delegates of the Second Continental Congress convened in Philadelphia on 10 May, they soon learned that armed men commanded by Ethan Allen and Benedict Arnold had captured the British forts of Ticonderoga and Crown Point on Lake Champlain in New York. The constitutional crisis in which Americans sought a redress of grievances from the British King and Parliament had become open hostilities. The delegates realized that even though many desired reconciliation, they would now have to address the new military situation. The Congress took the next step that eventually transformed a local rebellion into a war for independence when it established the Continental Army, the force we know today as the United States Army. On June 14, 1775, Congress resolved that 6 companies of expert riflemen be immediately raised in Pennsylvania, 2 in Maryland, and 2 in Virginia, and as soon as completed shall march and join the Army near Boston, to be there employed as light infantry under the command of the chief officer in that army. The next day, Congress voted to appoint George Washington to command all Continental forces and began laying the foundation for the American Army. So there you have it, the birth of the United States Army in a nutshell. Special thanks to the U.S. Army Center of Military History and Lion Heart Filmworks for excellent content. And for those guessing what the oldest branch in the military is, I did give a hint in the Continental Congress provisioning of the Continental Army. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. So here's a hoo-ah and a happy birthday to my branch of service, the United States Army.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way.